Hi, welcome to my video. This is Bob Price. What I want to tell you about is I have an interesting video coming up, and I wanted to talk with you a little bit about intuition. And one of the questions that I get is, how can I tell if what I'm getting, the prompting I'm getting, is myself, or is it my guides telling me something? So here's an example for you that happened today to me. So my guides prompted me that I need to make another video like I did on the last one, but they want me to use the same thing that I used before, but the ethereal image. If you remember, well, you'll see when I do this, but there were 4 versions of this, and then I showed you the final, and we used that for the last video that we did. So here's an example. So I'm saying, well, I don't know, I already did a video. Shouldn't I be doing something else that's unique and not repeating the same thing I did? Because I showed them the ethereal video. And they said, no, you need to do the ethereal video. Okay, so I said, okay. So here's how you know when there's intuition, you're using your intuition, and whether it's your own thoughts. See, my logic would tell me, no, don't do that. You already did that other before, so it's repetitious. That's what my mind would tell me. But they're telling me something that's different than what I would think. They're telling me that you need to do that ethereal one. So that's counter to what I would think is logical. That's how intuition works. It's not always what you would think would be the best thing. If you're trusting your intuition, it will tell you what you should do. So I wanted to tell you that I will be doing a video, because when my promptings come, I listen. I've learned enough in life that whatever the intuition tells me to do, I do it. I don't question it. And that's helped me to have about as good of life as I could hope for, and have things happen in my best benefit in my life, because I listen to that, and that keeps me out of situations like, maybe it will tell you that there's an accident that's going to be up ahead, so maybe you need to take a different way home. Your intuition will help you with things like that. But the way I use it at work is it tells me, oh, you need to learn about this, or you need to go in this direction. And so I'm going to give you a definition of what intuition is. And this is a Bob Price definition. This isn't what you're going to get if you look in a book or something. But you know what? You're here with me, and you're going to get different content here than you'll find anywhere else, because this video site is unique to Bob Price. And I'm going to share my wisdom and knowledge with you. And I wanted to tell you that my site is a safe haven. My site is a place where you can come to learn and grow. I'm going to teach you some techniques on how to deal with stress, to be able to just get through it. One of the things you may have noticed in not this last video, but the one before it, I had an image of a woman looking into a candle. Now you may be thinking, I showed them the video at work, and I had someone at work saying, what's she doing a seance? And it was kind of funny because it's like, what makes you think when someone's looking into a candle that it's a seance? Anyway, it's not a seance. It's a technique that I'm going to be teaching you coming up that I learned along the way. This is not unique to Bob. This is something that's out there. It's a technique. But I'm going to show you how you can use a candle to deal with your stress. So that's coming up. That's another video that I want to do. Stick with me. Please give me a like if you can, YouTube, you know what it says? I've had 1,000 people view my site, but I don't have 1,000 likes or 1,000 subscriptions. So, but you know what? I don't care. I'm not doing this for a business. I work full time during the day. So this stuff is all a bonus stuff that I'm doing. I'm doing it to give back. I'm doing it to make the world a better place. All the stuff you see going on, there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of hatred, there's a lot of bigotry, and you won't find that here because everybody is welcome on my YouTube page. I will do all I can to help you to be able to harvest some of these techniques to help you be able to deal with life, to get through difficult events. Oh, here's something else I'm going to be talking about. Now this is unique to me. This is something you won't find anywhere else. But I'm going to explain to you what is an oasis and how can you use an oasis to help you get through a frustrating day. That's something that's mystery right now, what the oasis is. So let it just kind of foster in your mind, and I will tell you. And it's going to be worth your time. I'm telling you, time spent here is going to be time you're going to be glad you did, because you are going to be able to grow from this. I believe one of the reasons why I came to this world is to be able to help everybody else, to be able to share my gifts with others, to be able to share what I've learned, like with intuition. It didn't just come and fall out of the sky and hit me in the head. It's something that I learned, and I can tell you some of the things. Now, I read this book by Laura Day, and it's a really good book, but it was written 15 years ago. It's called Practical Intuition. And that was what got me started. I was going through some events in my life that were very difficult to go through. And at that time I was kind of reaching out for something to help me, whatever it was. And that's probably when my intuition first started working for me, even though I didn't know at the time what it was. But this Practical Intuition book, I'm not even sure you can find it in print like on Amazon now. You can probably find it on eBay or something. But I will tell you that other people that have read this book, they were so impressed with it that they took the time and copied every single page, and you can find this on the internet as a PDF document. And so you can have that PDF document read to you. The foreword was, let's see, who read the foreword? I had it right at the top of my mind. Oh, she was the one that was married to Bruce Willis. I'm sorry, I can't hear you telling me what was her name? Oh, there we go. Okay, it took a minute to come in. I'm sorry, that's just part of getting older. You don't have things come in like that when you do when you're younger. It's just something to look forward to if you're younger and you're watching my site. It was Demi Moore. Demi Moore wrote the foreword in practical intuition. I'll tell you one thing that's in the book that's real interesting in the front. So Laura Day says, what you need to do is if you're going to ask what you need to do is ask questions. You ask questions to the universe, and then you wait to see when the answers come. They don't come immediately. It might come in a month, or it might come in a few days. You don't know. But here's an exercise that she gave that I think would be good for all of you. So what this exercise is, and this is an intuition exercise, is go into Barnes & Noble. Just go in there and look around like you always have. Stop and get some coffee if your Barnes & Noble has it. Just go in there. I love to go to Barnes & Noble. It's one of my favorite places. In fact, it was a real sad time for me when Borders closed, because I love those kind of stores, and Borders was phenomenal, let's face it. But it's one of those things, those changes that we've seen happen over time. But anyway, getting back to the story, you go into the bookstore like Barnes & Noble. You could go into any bookstore. You could go into a local used bookstore, anything. And you just start looking at all the books. You go along the shelves, and when you find one that stands out to you, that book is meant for you. You don't have to buy the book. You look at what the book is about. What topic is it talking about? What is the book? And that is something that you need to know about, and it's something that you need to take in and think about it. So I hope you found this helpful. So I've got this video coming up that I'm going to work on. The next one's going to be on, we're going to create another tarot card together. Now, the reason why I'm doing this instead of doing it in front of the videos is I've found on my analytics on my YouTube that you guys like it when I talk separate about the videos. And then I think a lot of you just like to hear me talking about stuff and maybe why it's important or that type of thing. Rather than watching the video, you'd rather just listen to me. So I'm going to do that from now on. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be talking about in the next video. So then you can decide if you want to watch it or not. So that I'll give a brief introduction when I do the video, but this big introduction is what I want you to see here, so you can understand why am I doing that video. Well, I don't know why I'm doing the video. It said it's going to be that picture that's ethereal is going to be what we're going to use for the tarot card. So we're going to go into we're going to look at that card and we're going to interpret it, and I'm going to talk about symbolism. Now, something that's important I want you to understand is, why are you doing these experimental tarot cards? It's important for you to understand how to read symbolism. And that's what we're doing in these pretend tarot cards. What they are is, the reason why I say pretend is, they're not cards that we're actually going to make and put into a deck. We're doing it for an exercise. So that's why I say they're pretend tarot cards. But knowing how to interpret symbols is really important, because when you know that, now you can start to interpret your dreams, because what are dreams? Symbols. You can interpret events, and you'll even be able to pick up things when you have someone tell you something. Remember, I talked about asking the universe questions. Well, these answers may not come, usually it doesn't come as a voice in your ear. It will come in other ways, but you'll recognize it when you see it. It could be from somebody else. It could be from anything. Anyway, I hope you like this video. I'll talk to you later.